Hello, monkey. I forgot the music. There it is. Hello, Phil. So many things going on in parallel, that's why it took me a little longer. Have some commissions to direct. Okay, so last time we added the UI thumbnail, and I asked my 2D artists that I commissioned to make a thumbnail. So we will see how that will go. I have some concerns about the transparency, because after the stream I also experimented a bit with the camera capture and see how we could add transparency. The problem is the edges where a color fades into full alpha, they are rendered in a very cut off way, sadly, because the scene capture cannot know where actually which pixel needs to be rendered and which doesn't need to be rendered. We could play around with some forced backgrounds, etc., but that's not the way to go, I believe. So now we will see how the commission will go, and I will probably play around with a full half transparent background that covers the whole circle, but still see-through, and it would still work kinda, maybe. We have to see. Since the shield has transparent stuff, in it, it is hard to make a thumbnail out of it. So we will see. But now that we have the thing, here, we can now, where's the focus? Here. Create the wall. And we see it here. We might even need to make the thing smaller. The problem is the indicators, etc., will also shrink, and at some point we cannot see stuff. I think this is the best we can do here. Maybe I really need to play around with perspectives more. Although this is fine, I think. This looks fine-ish. Anyway, I just saw that the wall is not popping up when we charge it, so there's a little bug there, which we have to fix. Is it in abilities? Yes. Barrier. Must be here, right? So we have a 0 here. This needs to happen. So it goes to false. Barrier has animation queued. Does it 2 times go into this? Do we not refresh this? It is the barrier, so let's look into the barrier. So we are doing it here, but this is... Where is this getting called? Okay, I have no idea what's going on, but something is fishy. Let's do some prints. Okay, and here we go. 3, 3, 2 times. That's bad. Because this needs to be true at the second time. And this thing needs to make a barrier. Oh, that's the problem. We pasted the wrong thing in there. Okay, now it should work. But still, didn't happen. Ah, wait. Not only that, it's going to 3 2 times, right? So we do have some problems here. Why did this not happen though? Is that the problem? Could be the problem. But we also need to solve the problem that animation is in queue needs to be triggered. Let's see if this at least works. Kinda. Will still be wrong, but yeah, so it does work, but it double triggers now. So in order to get rid of that problem, we need to solve this here. Why does it go in here 2 times while this thing stays false? Barriers animation queued. That thing needs to be true at some point. Oh, wait, I have to see. Fishy is getting modeled right now. It's awesome. Ah, look. We never set this in true. That's the problem. So how do we fix this? Do we just set it as true here? That could be one solution. I think we have to do it, because this thing gets fired after the other, and the animation thing happens after. Alright, now the doubling doesn't happen, I would assume. And come on, faster. There we go. Yes, didn't happen. Perfect. All right, so the overcharge animation now works correctly. Now we have to make it so that this thing can get damaged and can die. Currently the stats are very weird, so maybe we have to look into that too. Probably is from this thing. Wait, what is this? Why is this not in here? This needs to be in here. It needs to be renamed too. There we go. This is fine. Power value. Okay, let's say the power value is HP, and then we can use intelligence to boost it in a factor. What would that factor be? And is 10 HP good enough? I'm not sure. I guess that's like playing around in the balancing. I really don't know what a good value would be here. I wonder how other developers do numbers. I should make another tea. Here I am again. This is not easy. I'm not sure where to put the HP number. In the standard data stuff in the data table or in the abilities power level. If it's from the abilities power level, where do I save it when I create the thing? Can get it from here or interesting. Or through this. And then add it into the inheritance, for instance. Isn't in the ability info? No. This is wrong. Now what should be the multiplier here? If we use this. I don't even know what the full range is, but I guess it really depends on if I even want to use HP and defense in here too. Or spirit, not defense. Right now if we use intelligence, that would work in every way. But if I use defense, then we would need to actually look, hey, is this an earth wall or a crystal wall? With crystal wall we need spirit, while for the earth wall it would be defense. I should stop using divide. It's always problematic when it can be divided by 0. Even though in this case it wouldn't have happened. Why can't I make a... because it's not a float. Where's the double one? So if we have 100 intelligence, this turns into a 1. Do I want that? I think we need to play with plus here. Plus 1, which is what we want. So this is doing something, and this will be then the multiplier for this power level, which goes on top. Wait, so we have the power level plus multiplied the power level, which is 1 plus the multiplication here, which when we are in 100 is the double thing. If we have 300 intelligence, it goes into a factor of 4. This needs to be a float. And then it is like this, right? So a power value that comes raw in, and then a power value that gets multiplied by the intelligence divided by 100. Plus 1. So if you have an intelligence of 1, this is a 1.001 multiplicator. Which is probably not correct, but I mean, whatever. Hello, Big Turtle. How are you doing? That's nice to hear. Currently, I'm thinking about how to make the defense value of a barrier in regards of the caster. What game am I making? I'm making a monster collecting RPG. But with formations, so to speak. I already have some kind of prototype. I'm right now reworking the battle system. Monster collecting, yes. Like Pokemon, Digimon, those kind of games. Right now everything is work in progress. That's why these little guys look very, very bad currently, but if a battle happens, we have something like this, where you have in this arena with two competitors, and you have this little disc. Everything is work in progress. The colors are very bad here, but you have a fire formation for offensive magic. You have a earth formation for defensive physical attacks, and a water formation here for support, healing, etc. But then you have the other side with the air formation for harassment attacks. Oh, it seems like I pressed enter by mistake. Or did I press something else? I'm not sure. Did I press space? I'm not sure. Crystal for magic defense and offensive physical attacks for lightning. And then depending what is in front, your orblings do attacks. And the idea is, which I can show you too. Let me show you the prototype. I need to reactivate my normal gameplay. The idea is you are in this strange world. Now you are in this crater with some buildings in the middle, and if you look up, you can see some islands floating up there. Yes, I will need a lot of monsters. I have currently 6 dummy monsters I did. I commission currently someone to make these dummies into something presentable. And in the end they will be 120, but I mean, that's just future stuff. So basically you go into this temple and there is a little teleporter down here where you can interact with the crystal, and then it tells you to select one of your visited islands, and then you can go there. They will evolve, yes. You are then in this island where there are these Arplings swarms flying around. They can land and then they hop around and you can touch them to start a fight. And as you can see, we are on this island, so I can see down here where we came from, and I can also look up and see where we are going. There will be more islands, of course. And there are like these little cliffs where you can jump to the other side of the islands and then find other monsters. And then you can explore these caves, find items, find Arplings, find new attacks, go back, teach your monsters new attacks, and then depending on the elements and the formation, etc., your monsters can do different things, and the idea is to make a formation that synergizes with itself in a good way. So, for instance, if I have like an Arpling on the crystal side and an Arpling on the fire side, now I can go into the crystal formation to make a little shield against magic attacks. My little slimy here can tank it. And then this guy can create a shield in front, while I now go to the fire side to not get attacked, but attack back. And then the idea is you find more skills, and then you just make something that synergizes with itself. And then you can see these slots where you can put Arplings, and always 3 Arplings are front Arplings that do their attacks and can get attacked. I draw stuff, but I don't model my creatures. This is sick though. Thank you! You know you have like Digimon and Pokemon. What are yours called? Mine called are Arplings. Currently, at least. And I can maybe show you one example where these things are going to. I have like very old concept art to just have an idea how these things can evolve, etc. Let's go to the to Arplings, which I don't have 3D models for, but they are these cats. I don't even have a name for them yet. So imagine you have like this little Arpling on the left, and then depending on what kind of Arpling you have, they can evolve 3 different paths. And depending on how you train it and how you evolved it, etc., it can go to a certain maturity level. And currently there are like 120, but yeah, that's like a lot of time I have to spend to make that. We are still in the infancy of the game, sadly. Even though we are at day 802 now. No, I didn't draw, I can't draw. These were made by a friend. I commission my art. The current commissions look like this. Like this is like I think 5 years ago now. And now freshly I asked my 2D artist to make some thumbnails. Where are they? Commissions. Pekokun. And for instance, the tomate you saw, it looks like this. Here. I believe this one. This is the concept of it. Oh, don't worry, I have like a theme between cute and scary stuff. I will show you in a bit. This is Tomati. This will be the first model that I will add as a rework. And currently I have a little finished 3D work that at some point I need to add, but here it is. This is the reworked 3D model that will be added at some point. It even has some expressions I can switch to. Wait. So if we go to the eyes and then put the UV a little to the side, and it looks smiling. But yeah, while you said scary stuff, you maybe saw that my formations have two sides. Let me show battle. Okay, when I'm here, we have this top side and the bottom side. Maybe you can see by the color that they are complementary. Like this is RBG and this is CYK, which represents light and darkness. So the top side will be more awesome looking orb links, depending on these elements. On the other side we have scary dark side orb links. The first evolution of these things will always look cute, but as they progress they will look cooler or more scary. Let me see if I have something in my old designs. Like if we go to Orkies maybe. Like this one. You can see that there's this little guy, but it turns into a clown or something like that. Or if we go to the slimy, we have this little slimy dude, but it turns into this killer rabbit slug thing. Hello Meta! You should make like bosses or something to fight with your things, and you could maybe catch the bosses. The catching will be different. We don't catch them, we can find them in the caves. And the bosses will probably be the end evolutions, but I need to see. Depends on how this game evolves. Right now I'm trying to make a functioning prototype. But there are other things in this game that I didn't show. Like we are in a maybe that's spoiler, but I did a stream about it, so maybe if I see you again here I can show you more things that are going around. Correct. Step by step. My commissionee just wrote me, just a second. Mm-hmm. And not on? What's not on? Oh, hello, Cereal! Well, it's crawling. Every day we do some more progress. You use screen? Alright, but let's continue with the attack. Right now what I'm doing is... You saw in the other prototype, I can do the shield, and right now I'm doing that attack in a more presentable way. As you can see here, I can now create the shield. Something broke. Why did it break? What happened? Visual. Interesting. Is it because of this stuff? It just worked before. Why would it break now? What did I do? Crawling a storm, yes. Alright, so I need to find out why this now breaks, because I was doing so many things and it worked before and now it's broken. So let's see. There is the error. Base width ID deflect disk not in barrier data table. That's interesting. Why did I change the name? Oh, yeah. No, it should work again. I renamed the things. I forgot. Alright, Turtle! But here, wait, maybe the shield can work now. Let's see you around. Bye bye, monkey. Look, there's the shield. And there's an imposter. Okay, where was I? So now the shield is there and we did some calculations. So we can add this thing as a number in there now. Problem is, where do I stuff it in here? Max HP inheritance. So we can use directly the inheritance as the HP then, in this manner. Is truncate the way to go here? If we have a power value of 0 points, then I would assume at least to have one HP. So maybe sealing is the way to go. How do you write seal? It's not roof, right? It's seal. So at least always 1 HP is there. Okay. What else? Now we can make the barrier to have the stuff. Or more like we need to now think about damaging it. How does the damage function work currently? If we go to abstract, magic attack. Owning possible targets. It looks for the spirit. So maybe we need to add spirit in there too. What would be a good spirit value? And defense value? Oh boy. I guess the defense can be 0 in that point. So it lets everything through. Load curve, there's the difference. What is the difference? 300 is 10 times damage. So if we have a difference of 10, it would be around 1 again. So not a big change. Let me go be right back real quick. While I'm gone, I can also turn on music again. Be right back, monkey. Alright, be right back, guys. You're back? I'm also back. Hello. You said you got to go, not that you'll be right back. Thank you. All right. Let's think. Let's think. Oop. So currently the attack tells how the calculation happens. In my old system, the calculation happened in the guy that got attacked. So it was a little stupid in the old way, but it had a benefit where I could change how the damaging behavior would go depending on what type got attacked. Now this thing cannot happen because it doesn't have soft damage. So I think we need to get here, and then on possible target we need to know what type to attack. I guess whatever is in here needs to be in a function and then can be put somewhere else too. Maybe the damage calculation needs to be in the target and we just add whatever goes from outside. It would be in here then. Calculate and apply damage. Now we have to think what goes in here. So MP usage can still stay here. We can ask for the attacking stat versus the defending stat values. Is there anything else that needs to happen? Benefit struct. That's something the target itself can get or have. This is all from the target. So we can get these things from the target. So all we need to pump into it is the intelligence and the power value and soft heart ratio maybe for oplings. This thing though, where does that come from? That's a float. I'm not sure about this. Where does this go into? That's the wrong one. This one is the correct one. Why did I call it ability spawn information? I need ability what? Abilistra. There we go. Now we can use anything we want. It's not neutral. Now we have magic and physical here. Should I also have ability multiplier, or do we just put that in the ability itself? I guess we can just implement it there. I feel like this needs to be integer. Like so. And everything else can be done in here. Still not sure about this thing. Maybe we make a function out of this. A library function. So does this still work? Of course not. Shit. Seems to work. That's good. So now we have the damage inside the abstract, and now we can override it in the wall. Like this. And we need to do something in here that gets in the inherited spirit. For targeting, we also need to look. Oh, sorry. Oh. Oh man. I just commissioned 4 lines. Oh man. So where was I? The commissions are rolling again. Don't need the benefit structs, since you cannot crit. No, not for that, but we don't need the soft hard damage calculation. Just need the hard damage here. What is this? HP. Ah, this is just for the check if it's KO or not. Don't need this. Can an attack make 0 damage on the barrier? Should we truncate? Should we round? Let's round this. Receive hard damage through this. So we need to add spirit at some point. But here we don't need this anymore. We just destroy the barrier itself. How do we clean up this thing? So we don't need this, we just need to destroy when it's true. I guess we can play the destroy animation here. So this is actually not correct because it needs to happen in the animation. But we have to tell it to be dead. So we are very, very close for this to work. But there is a lot of things still to be added for this to work. But the attack now should be able to be calculated in the background. Now where do we continue? I should probably look into how to add defense or spirit in here. Right now the HP is calculated by the intelligence and power. And maybe the defense can be hard-coded into the attack as a value. Not hard-coded, but the stat inside can be maybe set to something. Interesting. This is the barrier ability. I guess we can go with this into the barrier. So pre-calculation. We do the pre-calculation in the abstract and then we go in here. And just get the battle entity info from the barrier. Wait. What is this? Battle entity info, battle entity info. Where do we save this in? Fighting entity, battle entity info. Battle entity info, so get info, set member. Now we can say the spirit, could even open this, but the spirit can be 10. very strong for this level, I guess. Maybe, maybe not. And then we also need to implement like the ignoring thing and targeting of shields if you go physical. But that's maybe for tomorrow. Let's see, Spirit is in there now, I believe. HP is getting in from here. What is missing? Is anything missing? Yeah, the destroy effect. Maybe the destruction. Oh, we also need to think about the overheal, which can be done also another time. So we need to do multiple things. Let's maybe write them down before we test. So overcharge logic, destruction of barrier, animation, and object deletion. What else? Ah, targeting. Barrier, targeting, magic versus physical. Okay. So if I go and start this right now, we also need damage feedback. Which is animation and UI representation. But here is our shield now. And of course this doesn't get updated, but it still attacks us afterwards. Why can it attack through? Maybe that's something we have to investigate. No, this is in targeting. Oh, we actually have it already, the targeting. Now the problem is, why can it target through? Oh, does one of the attacks actually kill the barrier? How would it even know? Maybe we should look into this and see what it happens. So here it is. Music stopped. This is false because this is true, this is false, which goes here then. I don't care. Should be magical. And this is then true. And goes in here, which is the crystal barrier. And if it was false, it would be the earth barrier. Makes sense. But it would also need to have... Yeah, this is wrong. It's actually wrong, I think. Or is it? Let's see. If both of them are there, then do this. If both are empty, then there are no barrier targets. Ah, okay, this just gives you the barrier. You're not finished after this. You need to actually follow this. So phase... Ah, it also goes with phase through. Phase through is false. So it just gives you the barrier here. Competitor target needs to be added here. So that was one. And this one... Magical. Phase through is false. So both of them go down with the barrier as the target. What's with the last one then? There is no last one. But one of them goes through and attacks the Orpling. What's going on here? Again, I need to find out what's going on here. That's so odd. Oh, is it because Fishy has the wrong AI? That could be it. No, it looks like it's fine. Try ability to random else normal. Trial else normal. Yeah, I don't know. What else could it be? Oh, fuck. Why? Why are there not 3? This will now give us the slimies too. But that's fine. So strange. Like in slimies I do understand that it's like only 2 of them. But after? So this is 1. And this is 2. There, this is the 3rd one. Are we going into return? No. Okay, maybe the 1st or 2nd fails us. Let's go follow from here then. Okay. That's 2. So, first ARPling goes down. Try. It goes into this. It falls. So it is the barrier. Possible barrier. Second one goes in. Oh. Oh. Who is the second one? It is a Tomati, that's for sure. So one of the Tomatis is wrong. Let's just add it everywhere for now. There's crystal in here. I think fire cannot work though everywhere. Tomati. We will have to look. Crystal. Okay, now it should work. I'm not sure what the IDs are currently, but probably 6th one is the wrong one. Now the question is, can they actually destroy the thing? But no. So, targeting works kinda now. Now we just need to make the feedback work. It should be fine-ish. But we will have to see. But for today, I am done. Alright, Phil, thanks for tuning in. All the lurkers, thank you. Wait, this time you're not a lurker, right? Meta, you wrote. Meta, thanks for tuning in. Everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye, monkey.